The General Data Protection Regulation, coming into force next May, is designed to protect individuals sharing personal data with organizations. There is the potential for fines of up to 4% of annual turnover to be applied for non-compliance, although regulators have so far indicated they are in favor of applying these proportionately and judiciously. There may also be warnings, reprimands, and corrective orders that could significantly damage your reputation. The GDPR affects all EU data subjects. It's not just about your customers' data. The GDPR potentially affects your people, your suppliers, and your business partners. The GDPR could have a real impact on your whole organization. The following 4 areas will give you an idea of the broad scope of the GDPR. First, let's look at security. You'll need to demonstrate you can detect a data breach, understand the impact on individuals involved, and take appropriate action. You must have the right controls and mechanisms to detect and even prevent malicious attacks. Then, if the unthinkable does happen, it's critical that you can notify the regulator in situations where you need to within 72 hours, and that you are prepared to also notify individuals where appropriate. Let's take a closer look at data subject rights. Even today, you and I have the right, in many circumstances, to make an access request to those we provide data to, although organizations are permitted to charge a fee. Under the GDPR, access requests will be free and cover a great many more types of data that can be traced back to the data subject. This includes data that directly or indirectly identifies or makes identifiable a data subject, such as names, identification numbers, location data, and online identifiers. There will be little or no distinction between personal data about an individual in their private, public, and work roles. All are covered by this regulation. Now here's the real challenge. Many organizations are anticipating a significant spike in requests, and they'll usually only have 1 month to respond to each one. Under the GDPR, firms must be able to demonstrate that they have a lawful basis for the processing of personal data. Consent is one such potentially lawful basis, and a hot topic with organizations. Regulators have, however, indicated that consent should only be used and is only valid in circumstances where other lawful bases are not applicable and where it has been appropriately obtained. So, for example, if the data is required to fulfill a contract with a customer, or when the organization can show a genuine and legitimate interest in terms of processing data that is not overridden by the interests of the individual. This still leaves a huge gray area. For instance, what will happen when it comes to analytics, modeling, and customer targeting? These activities will potentially require consent mechanisms. The GDPR is seeking to encourage transparency and fairness. So the more you can do to give your data subjects clarity on what personal data is being processed and for what purposes, the more likely you will be able to build trust with the data subjects. Privacy by design is all about proving you have a data privacy culture in place right across your organization and the technology you use. Under the GDPR, you must be able to prove that privacy is baked into the design and architecture of your IT systems and business practices from the ground up. If you do need to bring your current practices into line with the GDPR, you must be prepared to make changes. Put simply, the protection of individuals' personal data needs to be a core part of the way your organization operates and does business. But don't panic. Even if you're not quite there when the GDPR comes into play, regulators have indicated in articles that progress you can account for during the lead-in may help if you need to have a conversation with them. But whatever state you are in, you really should speak to your advisors about your current risk profile. One thing's for certain, doing nothing is not the answer. When it comes to your organization, The GDPR will cover all the people that engage with it across all businesses and functions. Fortunately, IBM offers a comprehensive approach to help you as you prepare for the GDPR. It's not too late to start your GDPR journey with IBM. We can help you on your path to readiness for May 2018 as you put processes in place to operate effectively under the new rules so that you protect your brand and extend your organization's data privacy and security capabilities for the future. For more information, visit ibm.com/GDPR.